Yeah, this is A. Wesley. That ain't tells it like a TI is. If you like my video, please give a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I'm going to talk to you today about Celebrity Roundup. And this week's Celebrity Roundup, I'll be talking about Lil Mama making a lip balm. Also, we're talking about Tony Braxton and Boys and Men going on tour. Also, we're talking about Anita Baker going on tour next year. Also, we're talking about Beyonce and Jay-Z and her mom going to see Kelly at the Boys Mind tour in LA. And also Rihanna came to see Brandy and Monica and stuff like that. I also will be talking about after Cardi B had her baby, after Cardi B had a baby, they were saying through Georgia law that Offset might be considered the baby's daddy since Cardi B and Offset are still married and not divorced. And those are just some of the topics that I'll be talking about in this week's Celebrity Roundup. I'm back. Like I said, I thought I'd put this in the last story, but it says right here, it says, my mixtape. It says, bet his blank move that divorce along now. Under Georgia state law, Offset may legally be considered the father of Cardi B's and Stephon Diggs' newborn son, since he and Cardi B are still legally married and stuff like that. And they said that Stephon Diggs is trying to fight that, but they, like I just read, it was under Georgia law, and so hopefully he could get his name on his own baby's birth certificate and stuff like that. A lot of people were shocked and surprised that Georgia had that type of law. Georgia has a whole lot of laws that people don't know nothing about. But anyway, I don't live in Georgia, and hopefully Cardi B and Offset can co-parent without all this stuff. But from the last couple of weeks that I've been on the internet, Offset is still trying to say that he should get half of Cardi B money because he gave her good business ideas and stuff like that. But anyway, on to the next story. Um, they said Salt and Pepper was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they did a big ceremony about it, and I was so glappy, and not glappy. I was so happy for that, and that happened, and stuff like that. Let me go on to the next story. Okay, I'm going to pull it up right now. Um, got a lot of Bravos. Right here, Ryan Coogler. It says Ryan Coogler confirmed he is already working on Black Panther 3. Now he said he's been working on Black Panther 3 because he's already been doing the script writing for it and stuff like that. But he said that there's no definite date of when it's gonna be. But right now he's just in the writer's room writing scripts with other writers and stuff like that. And I'm kind of glad because I mean everybody thought that Black Panther 2 was gonna be better than what it was, but it looked like they took out all the stuff and made it about that Indian guy and stuff like that. And people didn't like that, so I hope they do get a new Black Panther 3 because they did say T'Challa had a son on the first one, and his son's mother I think lived in Chicago or something like that. But anyway, I hope they do get a new T'Challa to finish the thing. I just hate on the second one that they killed off Angela Bassett and stuff like that. So on to the next story after that. Hmm. Oh yeah, it says It says, Janet Green, it says, great illustration of someone who has a team, who has a team that understands the power of perception, and someone who doesn't be with why you would dress like a villain to defend yourself against the accusations of a villain. I had no idea that Megan the Stallion versus Manigault started in court today. I didn't know that thing had started last week either until I seen those pictures on I think they were on Instagram or Twitter where Megan Thee Stallion had on a nice suit like she was going to court or like she had a office job or as an executive or something like that. She looked real good, and I really did like that for Megan Thee Stallion. I'm kind of glad Megan Thee Stallion is going after some of these bloggers and stuff because it was like these people were saying so much negative and evil stuff about her because of that Tory Lane guy, and it was like he had always been kind of problematic, and it was like people went against Megan for him, and he was the problematic one, but I was always on Megan Thee Stallion's side, so I'm happy that she's going to court, and I hope she wins her case against this Malago guy. Anyway, on to the next story. Okay, mm, I just had it right here. Give me a minute. Um, oh, right here. It says Alana Van Zant returns with bold, new series. Alana in the Insider, the Alana, the Inside Fixing on OWN, and she's ready to help us again. Yeah, a lot of people saying they needed a Lana Van Zant back because there was so many social issues and stuff going on, not just with regular people, but also with celebrities and all kind of stuff. And she did do a good job. I just hate that DMX did her like that before his passing, and he knew he needed more help than what she could give, what she could give him, and she tried to give him the help that he needed. But I'm glad she's coming back. I did like Alana Van Zant. I was catching her podcast off and on and stuff like that. So that's all I have for this story. Now here's the next story. Um, yes, Chadwick Boseman's wife was at the he had got the star of the Walk of Hall of Fame. I put that in about 2 videos ago, and they showed her first they showed her with him putting his shoes on the thing, and as she was walking by they were saying, what do you feel about Chadwick Boseman, how you feel about Chadwick Boseman and his legacy, and what do you think about him having a lot of black kids look up to him as far as being a superhero in Black Panther? She said, well, all I can say is that he has a good legacy, and all I can say he started it. He was the first. He started. And hopefully, there'll be more super black hero characters and stuff like that. And I'm glad that she is still holding up Chadwick Boseman's legacy and stuff like that. Because some people would have just let it go by the wayside. But I'm kind of glad she did. And she also put his shoes and a picture of him down there. And she was taking pictures. And later on, I saw a little video, a little picture of Brian Coogler there, and he was crying. Also, Michael B. Jordan and Viola Davis had a little bit of speech to say about it and stuff like that. So I'm so glad that they did that. And I would say they should have been gave him a Hollywood Walk of Fame, but I'm glad they gave it to him now and stuff like that. Now let me go. Let me pause this video and I'll go to the next story. I'm back. Speaking of Megan the Stallion, she was supposed to do some kind of gaming thing, like an iSpot thing, and she was gonna do it, but she turned down the brand deal because she said after the questions that they were asking her and after things that they were saying about her and stuff, because she was going back to trial and also the rest. I don't blame her and stuff. You don't get into a deal with somebody and then go asking questions about the case and all the other stuff that's going on. So I don't blame Megan Thee Stallion. I would have turned that down too. Now let me go to the next story. Um, I had one more story that I was going to talk about. Let me see if I can find it right quick. Well, let me pause and then I'll see if I'm back. They said after In Vogue was honored at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they all came up there to accept the award. They said it was all the other old girls. It was it was Terry, it was Terry, and it was yeah, it was Terry, it was Terry, it was all the old members. The only one I can remember is Terry, and they said Rhonda wasn't there. And then they said right after that, Rhonda said since she wasn't invited into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremony, she's going to quit or In Vogue. And everybody was saying Rhonda was always getting the raw end of stick with In Vogue because she took over for Dawn Richards when Dawn Richards left. And I said that was so sad. They should have invited her and stuff like that. I don't know why they didn't because she has always been a part of the group. And like I said earlier, Little Mama said it was about time. She said it took her 17 years. I'm just paraphrasing. It took her 17 years to come out with a lip balm, and she decided to come out with a lip balm. And last but not least, uh, they said Janine Ioko, uh, uh, Victoria Monte, Normani, and a couple of more singers are going to be honored at the Feminine Forward Award. Now I'll do a separate video on Normani's individual honors and the individual promotion and stuff. That's all I have for this video. This is A. Wesley. That ain't even tells us like a TI is. I am out.